Welcome back, guys. This is episode 4 of the series Pokémon Sapphire, and it's me, Ignoramus, playing Sapphire. Now, due to some technical difficulties, I've managed to corrupt the save file, so thankfully I've managed to get myself back realistically to the point where I was at. So there's not actually any changes from what I can see, but we shall see if it becomes a problem later on in time. So what we were just doing was we just caught a Whismur, so now we've got this little grunt fight coming up. And I've had some feedback, and it's mainly that I don't sound I don't sound too happy, so I do apologise for that. I think one of the biggest problems is trying to record when you've literally just done a shift, and that's probably not the wisest idea. And it's also the concept of, like I've said before, it's talking to yourself essentially, so not something that you particularly want to do. So this should be quite an easy clean sweep because we are quite high up in level, so nice and easy. Right, okay, I've got my watch on now. I was wondering where it was. Look to your wrist and wonder where your watch is. Honestly, sometimes absolutely useless. So we've just saved Pico. This is Mr. Briney. He'll give us a lift to the next place, which should be coming up rather soon. It's also where the next gym is, and that's a fighting type gym, so it's something that Wingle's going to be able to help us with quite a bit. Now I have got the HM for cut, and this is what I was kind of on about earlier when I was saying about how it's not really a mandatory HM, and you do sort of have to be going out of your way in order to use it. And this is a prime example. Like, these trainers, typically you would not actually ever have to fight them, you would never have to get anywhere near them, but because we're trying to obviously battle every trainer, try and fill up the Pokédex as much as possible, we are going to fight them. We are going to try and fight every single trainer in this game, and we're going to try and aim for the 100% completion mark. Now, there are certain things that I will be doing and certain things I will not be doing. One of the things that is notorious in Ruby and Sapphire is the lack of post-game. The only thing that they have is the battle tower at the end. Now, I don't really want to do the battle tower, mainly because I'd have to get somewhat competitive Pokemon playing, and it's not something that I'll throw my hands up, it's not something that I'm the best at, and I also don't have enough time nor the patience to sort of drill out an amazing team in order to claim any form of victory there. So I'd rather just leave it very much a casual play if I can. I know that in other games you do somewhat need it, and I'm happy to go and EV train maybe off screen, but maybe not to the extent that is required in these games and later ones, which, if anyone's ever played their hand in EV and IV training, it's even harder in these generations, mainly because you haven't got half the items that you need, and even if you did, there's not really any indication as to what you've got, not to my knowledge anyway. I mean, it could well be that I've completely missed something, but it's not for me, guys, unfortunately. I want to just keep it as casual as I can. I don't think Whismur's going to survive this. Stun Spore. If it's calmed down now, it's not too bad. There we go, we're all good. Uproar's quite a nice move, it's quite niche. It'll carry on going, it only uses 1 PP, but it'll carry on going basically up until the point like you've just seen there where it basically finishes. So please don't affect spell. Please don't affect spell. Please don't affect spell. Oh, thank the Lord. Right, okay. We're all good. We're all good. You've got your own Whismur. Brilliant. So Whismer on Whismer would have actually been quite alright, because it's got soundproof, which means that things like Uproar don't work, so I could have quite easily just used Pound up until the point where it's fainted. I've also had a bit of a think about the team that I want to have, and I'll be honest, I'm still unsure. I don't want to have pseudo-legendaries in my team, but at the same time, I'm also quite liking the idea of having a few. I don't know. I mean, typically if I was going for overpowered in this run, I would have had Slack Off straight off the bat. I would have had Swampert, I'd have had Slack Off, I'd have had Salamence, I'd have had Aggron, I'd have had so many of the heavy hitters in this generation, but it's not. I don't want it to be like that. I want a bit of a challenge, and it's also quite funny when you're watching someone sort of like go through a battle repeatedly because they're suffering for it. But as sadistic as that sounds, but that's the whole point of entertainment, isn't it? Is that it's meant to be putting you at the edge of your seat, not boring you to tears because it's the same repetitive stuff that you've seen before, and I don't really want to do that to myself. So we'll just carry on going. He's going to fast track us after giving us a lovely great ball, which I'm sure we'll put to great use. I mean, it's like Gyarados. I was tempted to get Gyarados, but then I thought if I go with Gyarados, I'm not going to get every member of my team that I want to get, so I am actually going to stick with Wingull. Unlike popular belief, I'm going to actually try and attempt this run with a Wingull, which is hysterical. Now, I will probably need some form of HM slaves, regrettably, because there are a lot of HMs in these games that you need to use, so Flash and Strength, Dive, Surf, Waterfall. I mean, there's 3 water HMs, so I am going to need some form of water-type Pokemon that's going to be able to learn all of them. But we are now clear to go to the next place, and I do need to train up Whismer a bit as well, because unfortunately it is going to start lacking. Primarily it's going to start lagging behind. We don't need it to lag behind, we need it to, get forward. We need it to be just about the same level as the rest, because I think the level cap now is about 18, so we should ideally get them trained up to do that. Sorry, it's me trying to get familiar with the keys still. Have I got Whismer first in my party? Yeah, I do. Right, I don't want Whismer straight away in front. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly train up Whismer in Rustboro Tunnel, because the only Pokemon that are there are obviously Whismer, and it's like what I was saying about the soundproof ability. Now, because of that, it renders literally half of their moves useless, which is, in my eyes, it's basically free experience. Come on, you can get the keys, mate. You can get the keys. And Whismer number 1. So I'll try and get Whismer roughly. There we go, soundproof blocks Uproar. That must be a very slow Whismer. It's fine. Oh, some lovely XP right there. I don't know how long this episode will be, guys. I mean, I may... No, I said I wouldn't cut. I said I wouldn't. It's not right if I do. I want you guys to to see every part of this journey, not just parts that are selected. That's some good XP. I just need to know if I have a potion. I do not. Oh, this is going to be good fun. Right, so this might be a bit of a short-lived grinding session. Level 8 as well. Right. How much damage do you do? Quite a fair whack. We're all good, we're all good. You just keep using up Roar and then we'll be alright. Yeah, of course, you've just fainted me. There we go. And that's our first feint of the game, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. It's alright, Wingle, you can absorb the XP up along with them. Make this easier for me. Right. Good fun. Oh. So yeah, ideally the plan is that I want to build up this team. And then obviously challenge the Elite Four and the Champion as you would. Just that the team that I've picked is not one that I've actually used in a playthrough, so like I said, I usually use overpowered Pokemon to make the game as easy as I can for myself, especially in a casual playthrough where no one else is sort of watching, but because obviously some people will be watching this, I want to make it a bit more challenging for myself. And I think it's a sort of like a social experiment in a sense, because obviously I'm not even a social, it's probably just more of a personal one for me. I don't usually try and challenge myself all too much. I try and keep it very reserved, I suppose. I like to make things as easy as I can for myself wherever I can. I don't like to always do the whole stretch and challenge sort of thing. Like, I don't want to. I don't know, just never appealed to me. I prefer easy routes out. It's not necessarily even laziness either. It's just if I can do something that makes my life easier, I'll take the options. But not to the degree where it becomes harmful. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I missed these berries the first time round, didn't I? So they'll take a while to regrow, which is fine. It's not a problem. We can just keep going. I'll obviously remove the cut. Paint gem. Right. So for those of you that are obviously going to point it out, yes, there are indeed some Pokemon that I am missing. Skitty, Slackoff, and a few others as well. I know I am. I'm not saying that I'm not going to catch them. It's just a case of, for now, I'd like to progress. I don't want, like I said, I don't want to be doing extremely long videos. I don't want to be doing boring content in that sense. I'd rather get through the game first, and then, if needs be, not so much a time lapse, but we can do like a recap of all the things that I've then missed. So ideally I want to get through the entire story first, then we can have a look. Because I mean, this video's already taken nearly 10 minutes just to do this. It's actually quite interesting how fast time sort of gets away, and then the irony is that while you guys will then see the end of the video and then think, well, that's it for you, it's not, because it nearly takes me double the amount of time then to edit. So even with the poor editing skills that I have, it still does take me quite a while to then edit and make sure that it's going through somewhat okay. So it's interesting. Like, so for every half an hour I do, it takes nearly half an hour to edit the videos. So yeah, technically for me it would be more efficient to actually do an hour long video and do half an hour editing, but you know, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to do that. Mainly because it's a fact of then talking for an hour straight as well. Like, I don't want to start ruining my voice, unfortunately. So this is quite a good opponent to face, only because Magikarp literally knows nothing other than Splash. Whismur, I'm pretty sure, is actually in the fast EXP group as well, so hopefully I can get a few more levels. I'm not going to be able to use them as much in this gym, because obviously it's a normal type, and normal is weak to fighting types, and that's the type of the next gym is fighting, so hence why Wingle's going to be probably our main star for the majority of it. Please don't poison me, I cannot be bothered dealing with poison, thank you. There we go, lovely, lovely, lovely. How much experience? Oh, that's quite a nice chunk, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do some wonders. Whismur leveling up very nicely. I think it's very, very much an underrated Pokemon as well. Like, it isn't actually a bad Pokemon to have. Its evolutions, not so much the next one. The next one's not so bad. The one after, oh my lord, it's a bit of a climb to get to the last stage, which is level 40. So that's 30 levels from now. So if you can imagine that if most of my Pokemon don't reach level 40 until maybe the 7th or 8th gym badge, that's quite a trek to get to. But again, we're doing obviously every gym, we're doing every trainer battle that we could possibly come across. We're obviously going to do every gym trainer that we can come across, so the XP should be there. I don't like Poison Sting, even though it's a low percentage, it's always got a tendency with me to always poison, so I'm really hoping it's going to use Constrict instead now. Yep, thank you. And there we go, and how much? 270. Wow, go on. Oh, Astonish. Yep, I'll take Astonish. And just like that, we've got a level 11 Whismur, which is not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world at all. So, do a bit of a heal up. And this is where we'll get our next stage gem, which is Flash. Now we can't use Flash yet until we've beaten the next gym, which is the one that we're currently on. However, this cave requires you to use it, in a sense, if you haven't overplayed this game and know near enough every single route. And now we come to our beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, new Pokemon. Yes, that is right, everyone. Makuhita will be our next in line for our team, mainly because I need the type coverage as well. So let's catch you. Beautiful. So yes, that is our next in line, guys. Happy days, happy days. Like I said, when the channel starts growing, we'll get those nicknames in, but for now, we'll very much just leave it. I think, when I think about it, I think I am going to have to train somewhat off camera, because I don't think this is going to go very well. So it's going to take a while, basically. Well, it won't take too long. Maybe about an hour or so. An hour or so of training. I just don't want to bore you guys. I just don't want to. Let me. What are we on? About 20 minutes. Right, guys, so I am going to cut it and then come back once I have done some training, so please just bear with, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, well, welcome back, guys. So as you can tell, I've just cut away for a time being. I did say that I wasn't going to. I'm really sorry, but it took a while. I've left Trico on purpose, but I've trained everyone up to level 16, and now it's taken a good solid, I think it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just over an hour. Wismera basically went back to Rustborough Tunnel and trained there. Makuita, I actually trained in this cave. It's not so bad, because if you can get other Makuita that don't know basically the move Arm Thrust, you're alright. I do not think that I'm going to be able to face the gym. I think by the time I get through the end of here, I think it's going to be very much just a case of going for it. And this is Aaron. It's such a shame, you know, such a shame. Tell you what, try and keep up with the trend of obviously getting. The reason I've left Trico for level 16 is because it evolves at level 16, and I want you guys to see that, basically. I want you to see when they do evolve. I don't want to train them until ridiculous amounts. I'd rather just show you. Although saying that, I don't think that's going to be in this episode either. What a part 4, eh? What a part 4. Level 10 Makuita, honestly. It's got such, do you know what, for a first form Pokemon, for a first stage evolution, it has got a lot of bulk, especially early game. It's not something to be really messed with at all. For us, there we go, one of the most painful moves to sit through, especially if he gets all 5, but luckily it's only got 3. And direct G-Gods, because it's sand attacked once. Pretty sure Arm Thrust has got the same amount of accuracy, and yet somehow it's hit twice. That's not good. Finish. Oh my lord. Right, okay. I mean, that's not a thing. You'll see why I train against 124 XP from Makuita. 124 XP. Honestly, crazy. Especially for this early on. So, if I remember rightly, if I just hug this wall, it'll eventually get me to the next ladder, which will be then the end. Zubat is actually a Pokemon that I would have used in this run through. Mainly because it's got an excessively high amount of speed. The only problem is, in this generation, it has got very, very little moves. And especially because it's a poison type, it's got so little moves that actually utilise its poison type stab bonus. So it's not something that I'm going to be using in this run because of that reason alone, because it's just not, unfortunately it's just not worth it. Are you going to do overgrow damage? No, you're not. You're going to just use regular, aren't you? So yes, Aaron and Zubat would have definitely used in a playthrough. In fact, to be honest with you, the irony is that the majority of Pokemon in this cave is actually something that you'd use in a regular run through. There is quite a few hidden gems in here. I know that one trick a lot of people like to use is to get the Sableye that you can find in here. I think it's a 1% encounter, or at least it's a very, very low encounter. I know that they like to use that against the fighting gym because, unfortunately, fighting moves don't hit ghost types, and neither do normal moves. So when they get a Sableye, they basically can just negate everything going for it. And this is going to be a great way to end this video, which is Trico evolving into its next stage. So I'm going to shut up now and leave you to it. And there we go, guys, that is our first evolution of the run. Now, Fury Cutter would come in handy were we to face a lot of dark types or grass types. The problem I've got is that I don't actually require it. It is a powerful move when it's used continuously. I don't have that kind of time to continuously use it. So guys, at 2 hours 56 minutes, that is us. Now, like I said, I'm sorry that I had to cut away, but there was just no other way of doing it. It has taken an hour of my time independently anyway, and I'm also going to have to patch these videos together, which is going to be an interesting curve for me as well, because obviously the video editing's not quite there. But right then, guys, that's the end of episode 4, so you'll have to just stay tuned to see episode 5, and I'll catch you there. Hope you have a beautiful day. Take care, guys. Bye.